is Melanie Apostolico with RSP, and RSP stands for Real Estate Specialist Program. We're a data company, and what we're going to help you to do is to get listing leads. Now, this is going to be part one of a two-part series that we're going to cover. We do split it up because the two programs are totally different, and it could get a little confusing when I put them two together. So this one is called our Home Value Campaign. Now, the Home Value Campaign is here to help you to get started. This is for startup agents, either agents that are brand new to real estate or maybe agents who are looking to restart their real estate business. And what we're going to do is we're going to help you to be consistent, because the thing that will help everybody, whether you're doing real estate or you're doing dieting or you're doing exercising, whatever it is that you do needs to be consistent. Because if you're not consistent, it's not going to work. All right, so I'm going to just go over with you a few different things. I'm going to share my screen, so just bear with me while I get that going. I'm going to give you a little bit of statistics. We're a data company, like I said, and we love statistics. We love numbers. We love things that prove what works and what doesn't. So a couple of things that I'm going to go is a little bit of background about real estate, your real estate business. Now, your real estate business, as I said, is not a job. It's actually a business. So when you got into this, you decided to not employ yourself, but you're going to open your own business and you're going to want to build that business. And a few of the things that make a job different than a business is that you have to, first of all, believe in yourself and realize that you get paid based on what you do. Not only that, you do have to invest in yourself also. So these are a few statistics that I thought were very important, because what I find is when agents start to look for a business, what happens is you give up too fast. You give up too easily. And I want you to think to yourself, how often do you think it would take for you to reach out to a homeowner in order to get a yes? And the statistics, I think, will show that it takes a lot more than most people realize. A lot of times when I'm doing an office meeting and I'm asking people in person, they'll say, oh, I try at least like 3 to 5 times to reach somebody, and then they give up. And the interesting part is it usually takes 6 to 8. So you just gave up right before you are ready to get that person on the phone. The other thing is it takes 11 to 13 attempts to ask for the business before you get a yes. So you do have to ask, and that does not mean that you need to ask consistently, hey, are you looking to list your house? What I'm talking about is making the connections. It's important to make connections in this business, and you want to be there to be that go-to person. And another interesting statistic that NARS had, and NARS is the National Association of Realtors, they said about 75% of sellers will sell their home to the first agent that they encounter, which is pretty interesting, because if you're not in front of them at the moment that they're interested in listing their house, you're going to be forgotten. That's why the consistency is so important. Now, if you're looking to reach them in person, that's awesome. That's the best way. Door knocking used to be a big thing, and it has kind of waned a little bit, but it really is the best way to make that encounter. And a lot of agents don't like that because of the fear of rejection. If you're trying to get people through email, I think the email statistics are pretty eye-opening, because most of the time those emails are either getting deleted immediately or they are just not even being seen, let alone being opened. So I'm going to just go back. Just give me a second. I'm going to show you a way that you can reach out to homeowners. Now, what you want to do is you want to be different. You want to be different in a good way, however. And the way you can do that is by reaching homeowners on a consistent basis and giving them information. So you can also go to this website, which is called rsppro.com, and it'll bring you to this page. Now, in order to find our home value campaign, you're going to go to the new web store and client login, which is at the top, underlined in red, and click on that. You're going to go to sign in. and you're going to put your sign-in information here. What it will do is it will open up to a page that looks like this. Now, the sign-in information will be, your username will be your business email address. And then what you will do is you will say forgot password when you go to sign in. There is a place here, you click forgot password, or you can create one. And that will bring you to a page that will be your web page with us. It should have your name here. It may or may not have your picture here. This will give you a menu of the different things that you can do in our on our web store. Here at the bottom, right in the middle, you're going to see home value campaign. That's what we're going to be doing today, is our home value campaign. You click on that. You click on create a home value estimate card. It will tell you a little bit about that before you click on there. And it will open up to a page similar to this. Let me just get rid of the need help. We don't need help right now. On here, you're going to have a different options of what you can choose to create. So if you click on edit front of card on the left, change your front design, a menu of different types of cards will pop up at the bottom. So you can choose any one of these. In this case, we have chosen the for sale. Now, on the for sale one, it's going to have your name and your phone number here. You're also going to be able to personalize parts of these. So if you wanted to change anything here, as you can see, a text box pops up. You can change the wording here, or if you like it, you can leave it the way it is. Now here it's going to say, to get your free home estimate, visit myhomes.com and enter your personal code. What we're going to do is we're going to assign everybody that you're sending it to a unique code. And that unique code, I will show you later what that homeowner will see, but that's how you can set yourself apart from everybody else as opposed to just sending a postcard. Here you're going to be able to view the back. When you view the back, this text can all be changed. If you wanted to personalize it, and I highly suggest that you do personalize it, something that can connect you to those homeowners in the areas that you're targeting. Maybe you live in that area. Maybe you do business in that area. Maybe you just grew up in the area. Whatever it might be, you have some sort of a connection in there. If you did recently list a house or you sold a house, you can put that in there. This is all editable. Here you're going to see a map of that neighborhood of where that home is located. And again, it's going to give them that code. That unique code is something that they can go to find out the value of their home. I'm going to just show you what that would be. When they go and put in myhomes.com, myhomes.com gives them a welcome screen. And the welcome screen gives them a place here to put in their code. In this case, I put in a demo code and you hit go. Once you hit go, it's going to open up to a page like this. Now, this is going to really set yourself apart from all the other agents who are just sending postcards. It gives that homeowner the ability to go in to find out information about their home. When you reach out to homeowners, it's important to know that you shouldn't just be asking for business. You should also be giving them something of value. And in this case, this value is some information about how much homes are going for in their neighborhood and how much their home is possibly worth. On the left side, you're going to see a moving street view of the front of that person's home. That really does catch their attention. In the middle, you're going to see a best estimate, and the best estimate will be the best estimate with a very broad range. Now, we want them to call you to find out the value of their home. That's why we do that broad range on purpose. They can certainly click on these buttons, get a free CMA. You'll get a second email. So the first email you just got was when they went on this website, when they put in that code. You got an email, and in your email it says, Mr. and Mrs. Jones just went to the website. This is their code. You can certainly go there and see exactly what they're seeing. Here you're going to also see a graph, and the graph is about market trends, the real estate market trends in their area. Now here you're going to see just your information. It's just all about you here. There's no other agents that pop up on the screen. Here you're going to see a bunch of different buttons that they can push. If they click on those and fill in that information, you will get a second email saying they just requested a CMA. They requested your opinion on should they remodel, anything like that. Whatever it is that they are requesting, you'll get an email telling you that. Here you're going to also see a map, and the map will be a map of that neighborhood. It's going to show them the solds, and it's going to be interactive, so they can click on any of those solds and see what the house down the block sold for. They're very nosy. They like to see what the house looked like, how much it went for, information like that, and we're going to give that to them. It looks like the information, though, is coming from you. Here you're going to be able to see some of those other information about those homes. If they wanted to see details about it, they can click here. It's going to give them a description of that home. It's also going to show them pictures, and it'll be pictures of the inside and outside of their homes. So those are things that are of interest to that homeowner. And that's what we are going to do, is we're going to make it very interactive. We want them to stay here, because the longer they stay here, the less likely they are that they're going to go to other websites. Let's go back to that postcard we have. So here we're going to change any information, put a little bit of things about you, maybe that, you know, that you have lived here forever. So you can put that in there. Now, when you decide where you want to send it to, you're going to click on View Mail List and Cost. The View Mail List and Cost will bring you to a map of where the office is located, but you don't have to go to that area. You can certainly go to other parts, and I'm just going to show you how you can do that. So if it is somewhere on the map, you can look, maybe you wanted to target this demographic area, this geographic area. What you can do is you can create what we call a polygon, and you can encompass that whole area. So how you create the polygon is you take your cursor, you put it on the outside part of that, and you create a little polygon. And you're going to connect it back to that first one. It becomes a shaded area once it's all enclosed. And what you're going to do is you're going to go here to the left. You can select the type. You want to do all residences or single family or condos. We're going to take all residences. You can find out how many years they owned it if you wanted to do maybe 2 or more years, 5 years, whatever it might be. Just remember that it is about being consistent with them. So you want to reach them multiple times. You don't want to just mail to them once. All right. So let's just take, say, 3 years. Now you're going to see how many properties there are. You click number of properties. At the top, it's going to tell you here, there are 691 single family homes and 592 condos that are available. However, there are 1,008 that are already being farmed with reports and not available for you to send to. So what that means is, remember I told you this is 2 parts to what we're going to be covering. The second part that I will be covering in 2 weeks will be about our target farming program. Our target farming program is a program that gives you exclusive rights to those areas. The home value campaign, if you are choosing to do the home value campaign, you can only target areas that are not being used by other agents that are farming with us. So this is telling you that there are approximately 1,200 homes that are going to be targeted. So if you wanted to see where they are, we can click Show Properties on the left. And the properties that will be available are in green, and the ones that are being farmed are in red. That means you'll be reaching the ones that are in green and not the ones in the red. So that is one way of choosing it. If you like this target area, you can save your target. You put a name in here. We can put test in there, and we can save that target. So in that case, I had already created a test somewhere else. So it would normally just appear here, and you would just be able to click it and edit your list. If you wanted to find your streets based on street by street, you can certainly go here and click Select Areas, put in your zip code. In this case, it is a Florida demo that we're using, so I have to use a Florida zip code. Here we're going to put the target in, hit focus, and all the streets that are in that in that zip code will show up here. Now, it could be part of a subdivision, so that is possible that like maybe Regency House might be a subdivision and have multiple streets in there. But whatever you're choosing, you can choose that and record it. Once you record it, it's going to tell you it's been added. You click OK, and those streets now will pop up here on the left. So as you continue to choose where you want, we're going to go to Regency House, hit Edit List. It's going to show you all of the ones that were chosen in there. Now, on your list, it's going to show you who it's getting sent to. It's going to tell you how long they've owned the home and who the owners are. Now, one of the things that we do is we will not mail to the house if the owner does not live there. So that's important. As you can see, the very first one, Donald Cook, his property is at Gulfstream, but he lives in New Brunswick, New Jersey. So we're going to mail it to New Brunswick, New Jersey, wherever the homeowner lives. Now that's really important because you always want to reach the homeowner. You're trying to get listings, all right? If you're going to be mailing and you're not reaching that homeowner, it's going to the tenant. Generally, the tenant is probably just going to take that piece and throw it away. And that's why it's important, as you can see, especially in Florida, that there are a lot of homes that are owned by people in different parts of the country. You can also see that still because maybe you have an area you're targeting in New Jersey, but that homeowner actually lives in Florida. That's where they get their tax bill. Wherever they get their tax bill, that's where we're going to send it to. So the one thing is we're never going to be sending to vacant homes and we're never sending to tenants. That's really important. So here you continue to choose where you want to send to, and up here it's going to tell you how many you've chosen so far to mail. Right. If this is your first mailing with us, if you have never mailed a Just Listed, Just Sold or a home value card, you're going to be able to get 50 free with your first order of 50 or more. So you'll choose 100 addresses or more, and 50 of them will be free to you. And you'll have your final cost that will be there. So that's how you go about choosing your areas. So let me just go back. We're going to go to, let me go forward, sorry. We're going to go to checkout if that was where you wanted to go. Click checkout. And here it will tell you what is being spent here, how much it's going to cost you if you're going to do this. So you can add your credit card here. You take a look at your proof on the screen. So you're not going to get a separate email. You're not going to get a proof separate and apart. Whatever you see on the screen is what is going to get printed and mailed. Now, our printing price includes design, print, and postage costs. So everything is included in there. All right. So if that was the way you liked it, you can look at the back again. You can look at the front. You would click and add your credit card information and just order it. It goes to print within 24 hours from when you order them. We're going to go back to return to the web store. So that is how you go. You go to Home Value Campaign, you go to create your estimate card, and then you change it, print it, and order it. Now, my suggestion to you is when you are targeting an area to mail to, do not just mail it to them one time. I want you to think about how advertising works. Advertising works on repeated ways to be in front of people. All right, you want to be constantly in front of them. You don't want to mail to them once. I hear so many times agent says, well, I mailed 1,000 postcards and, I only got one response. My suggestion to you is to take that 1,000 number and break it down into 4 250s. Mail to the same people repeatedly 4 different times, because your likelihood of them responding to you will be much greater than if you mail to them just the one time. The other thing is, remember, we give you that mailing list. So my suggestion also to you is maybe after your 3rd time that you mail to them, you can reach out to them in a different way. Maybe you do door knocking. Maybe you want to call them up. So you can do telephone call. And the way you can find telephone numbers is a great website, and you might want to jot this one down. It's called fastpeoplesearch.com. So fastpeoplesearch.com is a website that you can put in their address, and you'll find everybody who is affiliated with that address. Now, it could be the homeowners, it could be past homeowners, it could be tenants if tenants live there. However, remember, we're giving you the names of those homeowners so you can cross-reference it. Now, not only are they giving you the phone numbers, but it will tell you how old the people are. It can tell you if it's a landline or a wireless. So Fast People Search, great website, and it's free. So that's my little tip for you today. But my suggestion to you is to go down that mail list after you've mailed to them like 3 times and say, hey, you know what? I've been sending you these cards. Did you realize that there is a website for you to go to find out the value of your home? Be informative, offer them information, and you can get a lot of referrals that way. It's not always about that homeowner that lives there. Maybe they're not the one who is interested, but you're going to make connections. Remember, referrals are going to build your business. And if you can start a conversation with those homeowners, this is a great way of doing it. But you're not going to want to call them after you mail to them once. You want to mail to them multiple times so that they can recognize you. They recognize your name. And that's very important for them to do. One other thing I want to tell you about is another way of reaching homeowners is using just listed, just sold postcards. If you have a transaction, it's so important for you to reach out to them. Let them know what you've been doing. Let them know you just listed a home. You know, with this market, yes, true, the listing is probably going to go very quickly if it's priced right. However, you still want to let them know that you're doing business, that you had just listed, you have experience, you're doing this in, all of this stuff. If you do a just sold postcard, the just sold postcard should be about you. It shouldn't be about the home anymore. The home is gone. So if you're going to create a just sold postcard, change the back of the card where it has the description of the house. All right. And just remember also, if you did not take the listing, if it's not your listing, but you were on the buyer end of a just sold, you cannot use those pictures unless you have permission from that homeowner, from the other agent who had the listing. So always get permission. And if not, then take your own pictures. It's a great way of doing that. Now, this just listed, just sold postcard is exclusive to Realty One Group. All right. Nobody else can use this template. It is a unique template. It has the big circle for the one. You can use it with 1, 2, 3, or 4 pictures in it. If you're doing a just sold, I would just really suggest using the one outside picture. You really don't need the interior. The house is sold. But the just listed, you might want to. So this, again, is a unique piece that is just for Realty One Group agents. Now, the cost of the postcards, both sections, it is 83 cents per card with a 50 card minimum. All right, so you can choose any way you want. If you're using as a farming tool, the home value campaign cards, my suggestion to you is to do, I'm going to say around 250 or more. That's a good farm area because you want to think about how many people out of those 250 are likely to want to list their house at this time or know somebody who is. So it gives you a good net of homeowners that you can reach. But 50 is the minimum that you can do. So the pricing is here. If you do 500 or more, you're going to get a discount of 2 cents less for each card. So I am going to open it up to questions now. I'm going to stop sharing. And does anybody have any questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
Can we do it with other agent, like as a team?
So we can put 2 agents together on a card. If there are more than 2 agents on a team, then my suggestion would be to do a picture with team information.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else?
I wanted to ask, is it only specific to residential or is commercial properties an option as well?
This is just residential. So we deal with single family homes and with condos. We don't do co-ops or multifamily.
Okay, thank you.
I see Jose has, how do you remove a list that's already generated? So the lists that are there, let's go back to it. Let's go back in. So we go to the view mail list. So your lists are over here. So if you wanted to take out, say, presidential, you look at this and you have a couple of options. It says mail all. So if you clicked mail all, it would check everything here, or you could click mail none, in which case it will uncheck everything on that list and it will not be mailed to those. You go back. So as you can see now, the first column that you have is to mail. The second column is not mailed. In this case, we took off all of presidential and it now becomes not mailed 33, to mail 0. I hope that answered your question on that. Was that good? Great. Anybody else? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer it to you if you do want to create a home value campaign card. Now, one of the things about this is that you do have to be the one to make sure that you send it out regularly. You can create the card, the lists will be saved, the card will be saved, or you can send a different one, but the list will be there so that you can repeatedly mail to those homeowners. Remember, repetition is really, really important. In order to succeed with this, you need to be consistent and you need to be persistent also. Again, the follow-up will be key in this. If you're doing mailings, always follow up. Don't just mail them out and then forget about them. You want to mail them out, mail again, and then repeatedly reach out to them. Any other questions on that? Well, thank you.
All right, and Melanie, if you don't mind, for everyone, I did place your email address in the chat box, just in case if anyone has any further questions, they can feel free to reach out to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So what I will also do is I will, reach out to you by email, and this way I will send you a link. One of the benefits, it'll be about the benefits of the home value campaign and also the link to get to there so you can sign in and see your own webpage.
Awesome. That's great.
Okay.